to smuggle it in to get a Bible.
All right, I guess I'm as ready as I'm ever gonna be. We are quite literally doing this live. Nobody in the stream yet, but of course I did this completely impromptu. So, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. We're gonna see where this goes, but right now, I guess we'll just treat it as a normal one, but one that, in case I'm not feeling it, I can't really abort. This just has to happen this way. Oh, nervous laughter. So, right, we are doing Whack a Hovind, as we love to do around here, because Kent is a horrible person, as we have demonstrated recently with his racist bullshittery about the pigs. So, of course, with Whack-a-Hovind, the focus tends to be his Whack and Atheist episodes. And why not go on and do the most recent one? I mean, I don't want to go backwards. Hey, someone from Sydney, Australia. Hell yeah. What's up? I have viewers. Now this is serious. Now we gotta commit to this. Yes! Let me unmute 0645 2017 here. Alright, as I was saying, now that my energy's perked up, this is him taking a hack at Hemant Mehta, the friendly atheist. Really nice guy from what I see, and really lives up to that name of the friendly atheist. Extremely pleasant persona. Honestly, he is like the smooth silk sheet to me being abrasive as sandpaper. So a real interesting contrast here. Now, I've watched ahead just a bit to see. Oh, Kentucky Atheist in the chat. Yo, yo. Oh, yeah, in Kentucky. Yes, we know. Greetings from Memphis, my friend. Oh, man. I've got such a bougie setup, too. I got my laptop over here on the stream for testing. So I'm watching the chat on the stream like I'm watching the stream while doing the stream because I don't have a dual monitor setup because I don't know where the power supply is to my other monitor. Oh, this is going to be crazy. But right, Hemant's a cool guy. enough of me prattling around, being nervous as let's get into this. Are you ready? Cause oh boy, this I've had enough of this guy's nasally ass voice and his cohorts. If you haven't watched my last video and them and Joseph being like, "Call 855 Big Dino," and it's like, it's not my responsibility. Kent said he wanted to debate me, and he still ain't gotten in touch with me, nor have his cronies outside of saying 855 Big Dino. It's a whole thing. Trying to self-promote while I'm in a stream. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's press play on Kent. We've been avoiding the inevitable. Let's just do it.
The crew at Dinosaur Adventureland in lovely Lenox, Alabama. Got a little rain today. Supposed to get a little more tonight. Talk more about that in a few minutes about the rain. Tonight, September 25th, 2024, Whackin' Atheist, Hemant Mehta, I think is how he pronounces his name. He calls himself the Friendly Atheist. Somebody texted me and said, Brother Hovind, would you whack this guy? I said, never heard of him. I looked up his channel, and he's whacked. So anyway.
I highly doubt he's never heard of Hemant. Just, maybe. I stand corrected. Maybe. But I really doubt people are just texting and calling Kent saying, this guy needs whacked, this guy needs... No. Kent, the only person who gives a fuck about this is you and the people you have cloistered up in your little, cult compound. And I guess the weirdos who actually do watch this stuff unironically, but, I doubt they're calling you up saying this, that, and the other. But, we're gonna get through his bullshit sooner or later. This is also a 42-minute video, so I don't know if I can make through this whole stream, but let's see what happens.
We're an old-fashioned, independent, temperamental, fundamental, right-wing, radical, chicken-eating Baptist church. We believe the Bible is true and evolution is stupid. We're straight north of Pensacola, 70 miles. I think God ought to get the glory instead of the dumb evolution religion. So tonight, I forgot to put the name in there. Okay, there's a hurricane coming, going to hit the armpit of Florida, and some of you folks are going to want to get away from there. If you're in the path of the hurricane, want to...
Also, I know I just interject at random times. If you hadn't watched my videos before, this is how they flow. You notice he changed his setup? He's got the weird blue sheet. He's got the dino lamp. He's picking up on other YouTubers. You gotta have the lamp because, and it's gotta be the dinosaur for Dr. Dino, who isn't a doctor, and his stupid DAO logo and all the other junk, Honestly, it's like he just moved to the stage right of his setup versus stage left. Chris Jones to help with the whacking. It's a total whack-off here. Come down to DAL where you get whacked daily. Oh man, I kind of wish AJ was here. If it was a StreamYard stream and he wasn't busy, I'd probably try to make something happen, but I'm doing this in OBS, I got a theme going on. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. Oh, right. Hovind prattling on about nothing like he does. Let's continue.
Get a few days away for a few days. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. We have...
Oh, Dino Lamp from Temu. That fits the bill. Oh, man. I need the cheapest dinosaur lamp you can possibly get us. No, 1 cent is still too expensive. No, half a cent. Can you just bring it down here from China? I know I mocked you guys, like, last night, but I really need you to just send it here from China, really fast, not on the slow boat, Hovind.
Plenty of cabin space, take tours, and then help us with the 73,000 projects we got going around here. How many do you have going, Joseph?
27 on my short page.
Who gives a fuck about you, Joseph? You're on my shit list for just being an all-around douchebag. Seriously, go check out my last video. You'll see the kind of just random prick. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's just funny. He's like, I'm not going to get into it. Watch the video. I'm not derailing my own video. We're going to be here for hours. I'm probably not going to get through this one, but I am up for doing it as a multi-parter because a section in the middle I do want to get to. Let's continue.
Well, I gave you some of mine. Yeah. This morning, one of our neighbors came over. I don't know if you know about this, and said, hey, I work at a factory. We have 13,000 chickens. And we had some kind of malfunction. We got a couple eggs you can have.
I work at a factory. We 13,000 chickens. I don't know, that just amused me.
Couple. What's that? A bunch. 500 or so, 450, I don't know. Okay, we posted a video this morning. Time to get rid of some things. We get a lot of stuff donated to us, and a lot of stuff needs fixing, and we're becoming a mechanic shop rather than a ministry. So I said, well, stop. Let's just quit fixing stuff, sell it as is. Somebody else can fix it. We want to focus on winning souls. Garrett over there at the soundboard drove this truck from Idaho all the way here twice. The second time coming down here, got close. How close were you when something overheated her? You were in Tyler, Texas. Okay. And it's either cracked head, blown head gasket, cracked block. We don't know. Anyway, it's a 4-speed.
What'd Kent say about crackheads? Just saying. Seems to be an expert on crack. I don't know where I was going. That was a terrible joke, but still, I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this man isn't being kept active via drugs. Something about it just feels that way. It's not slander. I'm not saying he is. It's just, it wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't being amped up by something extra.
Automatic? No, it's a manual transmission, right? 5-speed manual and 4-wheel drive. And it's broke. What is it, a 94?
It's broke, just like Kent. Hovind, buy our Jeeps, buy our old broken cars. Please, we need the money. Hovind.
94 Nissan truck. If you owe one, $1,000. First come, first serve. This Jeep, our mechanic was great, fabulous mechanic. Laszlo worked with us for a long time. Had a new motor, not a new motor, a junkyard motor, almost all hooked up. He died in the middle of the project. We don't know where the rest of the stuff goes and don't want to learn. Okay?
He was just working on it and then just dropped dead right there. You can still find bits of him in the crankshaft. Hovind.
Okay. My son got this Blazer, 18,000 actual miles, and 84 diesel. He drove it around here for a while. Something went wrong. It lost prime. I don't know what that means on a diesel for sure, but he said, Dad, I got to go to Bible college. I'll swap you for your Honda Insight. And you sell that, whatever you can sell more than the Honda's worth. We figured about $4,000. I'll use it for Bible college. So if you want to help him go to Bible college, help us get rid of this, be a good project car for you. Still can't get it started, can't get prime on the diesel. So your problem. I don't want to mess with it. Okay. If you want to get a fishing license to fish.
Okay, so this is something that Kent's been doing recently, is he's been obsessing over the idea of people can come down to DAL and fish. Kent, no one wants to come down to your fucking mud hole to fish for fish that you had to outsource in, have to feed, and then restock constantly because it's not an actual fucking ecosystem. Who the fuck wants that? It's the middle of nowhere fucking Alabama, Kent. They can go anywhere and fucking fish. A fishing license can't possibly be that much in Ala-fucking-Bama because it's not that much here in Tennessee. Joe, I'm pretty sure it's not much up there in Kentucky either. This is stupid, Kent. Just, my God. Desperate ploy to get people to come to DAL so he doesn't feel like he's lying about his attendance numbers. We had a whole 30 people come. Most of them just wanted to fish. Hovind, coming on the fish.
Fish at Dinosaur Adventureland. We're going to give one free to anybody who's in the military, retired.
Oh, man. Shout out to Ambush Apostate in the chat. What up, bro?
Or active. Anybody who's in law enforcement. And any of you public school teachers. Nobody else gets to fish here. We stock all the lakes. Twice now we've stocked them, spent a bunch of money.
Nobody gets to fish at Dinosaur Adventureland, especially them women folk. They go and make me a sandwich, or a body slam them. Hovind, spousal abuse. It's not funny, but it's Kent Hovind, so we got to make his life miserable.
Got some big fish in there. Fishing license just for you. Okay, if you want to help us stay open for free, join our 777 club. Call Sandra, 855-BIG-DINO, if you got any questions about that. Secretary at drdino.com. There we are, drdino.com website. Open for 8.43 years now. I got to fix that. I got to update that thing every day. Maybe I should just say 8 plus. Never ending job. Yeah,
Yeah, you dumbass. Also, I've heard things where people are saying he doesn't do his slides. And it's like, dude, do you do your slides or do you not do your slides? Which ones is it? Do you spend all day on them? Do you not spend all day on them? Do other people help? What is it? But it doesn't fucking matter. Let's let him prattle on for a bit more.
And we got to update that. That's wrong now. It's over 30,000 subscribers. Okay. Whack an Atheist Wednesday. It's a fun game we play here based on the whack-a-mole game. Somebody sticks their head up and teaches evolution. We whack them back down with real science. Okay. It's fun. It's fast. It's easy. They stick their head up. You whack them back down. Kids love to play it. So do adults. When it comes to atheism and evolution, when they make a silly claim that evolution is science, it's a religion. It's not science. We whack them back down. I really enjoy it. So many atheists, so little time. Who gets whacked tonight? Well, the winner is Hemant. I hope I pronounced his name right. Mehta. Mehta.
Okay, fun fact, I had to pop away for a second because apparently some cats decided to get into a fight and I had to check on stuff. This is part of why I don't actually do stuff live because there's always something going on. Did I miss anything important, chat? Let me know. It looks like he stopped prattling on and being a rambling idiot and actually got to the topic at hand. Only took 4 minutes. Let's see. Pawn on private property, though, you don't need a license. Yeah, see, that's the funny thing, too, is that since it is private property, you don't actually need a license. You know, I mentally just, like, process that as, well, yeah. Like, it didn't click with me to bring it up as a point for people who don't know. Let's see, what else? Dragon Lake, license like $4 for 1 day, 11 for a whole year. Exactly. Fishing licenses are dirt freaking cheap. You know, just they're nothing crazy to get. And again, private property. I'm sure in the middle of rural Alabama, people know all kinds of other people who've got lakes, streams, some kind of access to be able to just do whatever. And also, how many people actually get licenses versus how many just go on and fish anyway. But right, we're up here to where he actually talks about Hemant. Let's keep going.
Who is he? An American author.
Kent's coughing from all that dust coming from the road. Yep, all the dust on Pearl Lane. Off. It's giving me silica poisoning. All the layers that all formed at once in my lungs. Hovind suffocates on dust.
Blogger, YouTuber, and atheist activist. Born in February of Chicago, so he's 41 years old.
Born in February of Chicago. I know Kent is a 71-year-old man, but it's just he. And it sounds rich coming from me, you know, who stumbles over his words all the time, but can't accidentally the sentence constantly. And it's clearly showing signs of his mental degradation. I mean, I guess it would be if there was anything left to degrade, but in all seriousness, he's slowly going downhill. Part of me feels mean for doing this, but the rest of me realizes he's complete scum, so it's okay.
Prominent figure in the atheist community on eBay about his journey from Christianism.
Ladies and gentlemen, and people of all gender identities, that was not my end. At least I certainly hope it wasn't. That was Kent. As usual, his stream fucks up in the middle of it. I'm not saying play a drinking game, but if you were playing a drinking game, that's a reason to take a drink. I'm just saying.
To embracing atheism. Why don't you keep going and embrace the biblical truth? Call me, Hemant. I'll be glad to talk to you, okay? Atheist blog.
Yeah, Kent, you always want people to call you. Why don't you ever try to contact other people? Are you just that busy? Because I don't think you're that busy. Other people parrot, he just attempts and fails to read it. Sounds about right. Now, I know between like OBS and YouTube, there is a way to put comments on here. I mean, I know you can do a whole lot with streaming stuff, but this is literally my first test stream. So, hopefully at some point, I'll have comments hanging out somewhere down here, and y'all can see all your words pop up in front of Hovind and take what value that has there. I don't know. Just maybe. If you like, maybe Joe, you want to help me out with that when we get chatting a little more. We're just gonna keep going with this though. We're gonna push through, see how far we can make it.
Friendly Atheist podcast. Hemant, the show that you made, I'm going to share just in a few minutes here, completely misses the point. He's upset because Ohio is letting Christian schools get money to do things for projects around there. He thinks that all the tax dollars should only go to public schools that teach his religion of evolution.
Yeah, exactly. Hemant Mehta doesn't, discuss evolution. He's more into sort of the news and socio-political stuff from a very nice perspective. Very, very nice way of discussing these topics. I was actually listening to one of his, I think probably his most recent, a small clip from his most recent podcast this morning. And it was talking about some other school-related issues. And, of course, the Christian right manipulated what was actually going on, lied about it as they do, which is probably what we're going to have here. Which, by the way, in case you didn't know, spoiler alert, this whole like an atheist is on the schools. I don't know, talk about how evil the schools are. Should we have public schools?
All the public schools are tax funded and they teach and promote the religion of evolution. He doesn't
Say it with me, chat. It's not a religion, Kent. You fucking dense moron.
see this at all. He probably will not be able to see it. But
You damn right, Nubifier. Tax dollars should only go to public schools. Separation of church and state, Kent. Churches should also have to pay taxes. Fuck tax exempt status for churches. If they have a charity division, that would be a different story. Then I would still let 501(c) status apply. Now, granted, that's just me saying it in a vaguity, so they could find all kinds of little loopholes, but let's just presume you filled in the loopholes. I'd be cool with that. But the whole thing automatically being tax exempt? Nah. Fuck that shit.
evolution is a religion. And it's okay if the tax dollars go to support his religion, but nobody else's. If you really want to get the schools to not teach religion, then help get evolution out, Hemant.
And nope, Kent doesn't know jack diddly shit about paying taxes. Remember, he pays every tax he owes. The trick is, he doesn't feel he owes any taxes. Ergo, or at least any that he can avoid paying, he doesn't owe. Because he obviously has to pay fuel taxes, which he brings up all the time for some reason, because those are put in with the price of purchasing gasoline. So, yeah, he can't escape those, but anything else he's sure as hell gonna avoid.
Evolution's a religion. If you want your own religion to be tax funded, that's what you really want. Think I'm wrong? Debate me. $20 says you won't do it.
You think I'm wrong? Debate me, bro. And $20 says you won't do it. Kent, how about you use that $20 and pay my appearance fee for an hour? Because that's one of my stipulations, a $20 fee. Why? Because that's what my time is worth at my job. Approximately. I'm not going to tell y'all how much I make. It ain't enough. Not in this economy. I can't afford to feed my gun and myself. It's one or the other. But, yeah, seriously, that's actually one of my stipulations, because Kent getting all these free debates, no. I'm going to be a complete hard ass on that. Honestly, I was originally intending to just make this an open discussion instead of it being a whack-a-Hovind, because I didn't know if I'd actually have an audience. But, damn it, I have an audience, and y'all are fucking awesome. But right, let's continue.
Okay. Hitler said, let me control the textbooks, I'll control the state. In American schools, the Genesis creation narrative was generally taught as the origin of the universe of life until Darwin's scientific theories became widely acceptable. Darwin's theories are not scientific. They are religious. He believes animals can change to something else. Nobody's ever seen that, okay? Let's see, the Scopes trial...
Kent running his script. Hovind run his script. Debating Kent about his taxes, yeah. Or just about taxes in general, yeah. That'd be great, but he's not touching that sovereign citizen bullshit anymore, because he knows talking about it's going to get even more attention thrown at him than the government probably still already has monitoring his ass. He knows he has to play things by the book or they'll throw his ass in jail again. This time probably for life, given one, how old he is, and two, repeat violations that would be that extreme, but I'm no lawyer. Call it, Mr. Anderson for that.
1925, I'll talk more about that in a minute. U.S. states laws, several U.S. states passed laws banning the teaching of evolution. It has never been against the law to teach creation in a public school. Never, okay? And you can read all this for yourself. I want to get up to something.
I gotta go through my slides really quickly because I spent too much time prattling around about our fucking Jeeps, Hovind. This guy, man. See, this is what happens. At a random moment, I just get completely burnt out dealing with this SOB. In fact, we're going to break form, and we're just going to jump ahead a hair to where he actually, begins playing Hemant's video. So we've got videoception here. We got me watching Kent, watching Hemant, and y'all are watching me watch Kent watch Hemant.
About teaching.
And yes, you are very right, Joe. Made observations, made predictions and hypothesis, and observed the conclusion. Sounds kind of sciencey. Yep, meets all the criteria from my understanding. But, Ken Hovind is the arbiter of what is and isn't science.
Okay.
Old man fails at tech.
Republican, you really wanted to talk about it. Basically, Republicans in Ohio, they have taken full advantage of a gerrymandered state, and they have already passed a voucher bill. They've spent nearly $1 billion with a B dollars.
I'm sorry. I plugged it in too late. I got to do it again or what?
That right there. That's the stream, ladies and germs. That's it. We're not getting better than Kent's perpetual failure of tech like that. I didn't know that was coming. Oh man. Oh man. Let's try to keep going. Let's see how far this train wreck goes.
Okay. So Republicans spend $1 billion.
About
Hang on. Johnny G. He may be able to structure an argument about his taxes. Yes. Oh man, I'm having fun. I hope you are as well. By the way, time for me to shill. I should have like super chats and stuff available. If you feel the urge to toss a buck over, it'd be cool. I'm not saying you've got to. I'm not saying I'm worth it, but if you have the means and feel like it, it'd be so appreciated. It would make me want to do these more often because I'm legitimately having fun. Let's keep going, guys.
over the past year, and that has allowed students to use taxpayer dollars to cover the costs of private school, usually Christian schools, right? And apparently, though, that's not enough because this is what was posted this week.
Just kid's face there the entire time. It's just perpetual old man fails at tech. If it was anyone else, I would pity him. But it's Kent Hovind. Fuck this guy. Go extinct, you fucking dinosaur.
ProPublica. Let me show you this. Here's the
See if I can turn up
headline.
his audio.
In an unprecedented move, Ohio is funding the construction of private religious schools.
All right, look at that. He's going around the likes and dislikes. Just click like how do I increase audio? I've been doing YouTube for 8.3 years now, and I still can't figure out how to turn up the volume on a video.
And check this out, like right here, under a bill passed.
Before we get everybody complaining, can we do something else?
You can't hear it. Your volume button in the video is right there.
I'd like to remind everyone that when I need to clear my throat, I have a mute button, and I use it. I am, by default, automatically better than Kent Hovind, because I make sure, with all the sounds that a microphone will pick up, me clearing my throat is not going to be one of them, at least not likely to be. So, thumbs up for me? Yeah? Can I get a thumbs up in the chat for not clearing my throat in your ear?
Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's maxed out. Let me try mine, see if mine's maxed out.
Just like my credit card, it's maxed out. Gotta keep the AL in business. We don't charge admission fees.
Always something to... Oh, let's see. There. My audio's maxed out here. So that leaves slide number 57.
Indeed, Kent has been having a lot of. Andrew Jens, not the case. Those types of things are on the lower level. They were a lower tier of like 500 subs and 3,000. So if I don't have it shown, that's because my dumb ass hasn't toggled something properly. But yeah, those are at the lower tier, and then in-video ads are the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watched hours. I was just double-checking my watch hours earlier. Let's see. But no hate thrown, Andrew. If you're not looking at the stats, it's common to get it mixed up. That's what I originally thought too, that it was all walled behind that, but they made it like separate tiers. And yes, Kent is having a lot of throat issues recently. Curious. I swear, next stream I'm gonna have this set up. It's gonna. Congratulations, you got to hear the Memphis accent come out. I'm gonna have the chat. I'm gonna have I'm not gonna have a webcam because I don't want to show my face. I don't want people looking at me. That's weird. But, we're going to have everything else.
TV.
It's going to be great. Better than Kent streams.
57. Take off back.
Okay, yeah, the 500, 3,000 requirements are for memberships. Yeah, I like I said, I could swear that it was toggled. Like I have it toggled on. I could swear I do, and I would go look into it, but it's not that crucial. So I will double check that and see all the details and verify for my own silly self what is what. In that case, either way, yeah, y'all are watching. That's still the cool point. I appreciate it.
Where we were. Okay. And let's go get right here. All right. Hope you heard that first for 50 seconds. He's upset because they have tax funding for Christian schools, private schools in Ohio, mostly Catholic. Okay.
Oh damn. Nerdy Trucker, $5. Yep, super chats are up and running. Thank you for verifying. And again, not a single bit of hate, Andrew. Not one bit. I'm a very over-apologetic person at times. Definitely just trying to figure out what the facts are from what we know. So, you're trying to be like, hey, maybe it's not active yet, and and then we find out, okay, it is. That's cool. You're awesome just for being here. So much love. Much love to everyone in the chat and everyone watching right now. Unless you're Kent. No love for you, Kent.
By the Ohio legislature this summer, the state is now providing millions of dollars in grants directly to religious schools, most of them Catholic, to renovate buildings, build classrooms, improve playgrounds, and more. Why are Ohio taxpayers on the hook to help Christian schools become bigger and better and more attractive?
Yeah, mods for live streams, definitely. There's a lot I want to do. Like I said, this is just a test. I shouldn't even be trying to make this such a serious video, but like I said, I didn't know everyone would actually join in.
How did that even?
Like I'm still getting used to actually throwing something at the YouTube wall and it actually sticking. So just kind of can't get over just the appreciativeness of everyone being like, "Hey, I like this guy's stuff." It's weird. You go through my back catalog. I've tried a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that's been deleted. It's not used to actually succeeding like this. Anyway, back to the ultimate failure, Kent Hovind.
And the short answer, I'm going to try to explain what happened here, is that, okay, earlier this year, Ohio, the lawmakers, the Republican lawmakers, they passed a budget. It's a huge budget. We're talking.
And yes, Johnny, way too many people are way too nice to Kent. And of course, since he always does it on Standing for Truth's channel, Donnie, he always sits there and, white knights Kent whenever anyone attacks Kent for anything. Suddenly, he has to be about the debate and he has to keep focused. But Kent can literally break every one of his own rules and just do everything possible to be a jerk-ass. And it's cool, but the moment someone calls Kent out on it, nope, can't do that. It's what happened in the Planet Peterson debate.
I think it was like $70 billion, maybe? Something like that. It's in the billions. But they passed a massive budget for the state this year.
Oh yeah, this is the first live stream. I've done live streaming before, and I use OBS to record my videos, so I know the principles. But it was like nearly a decade ago when I did any other stuff, so I'm having to sort of refresh myself and just take it a step at a time. And my bigger thing is just not being a rambling idiot in the stream. But apparently that's not that big of a concern, especially again since we're looking at 0645-2017, who is just boringly staring at a Hemant Mehta video.
Here. And of course, when you have a budget that is that big, everyone wants their little pet things to be funded, and no one has the ability, even with the staff, to go through line by line and figure out whether everything is good spending or bad spending, right? But in that bill, it included roughly $4 million in grants to private schools. Specifically, that means Christian schools, right? Where did this idea even come from? Well, check this out. It came from a right-wing organization that is actually affiliated with Americans for Prosperity, which is a group run by the Koch brothers, if you're familiar with them. But look at what this says. This is from the Buckeye Institute, which is affiliated with that Koch brothers program. This is from April of 2024.
I am still here, guys. I'm just giving it time to play so that Hemant can actually make his point, so Hovind can lie about it, and we can dissect what Hemat's saying versus what Kent is lying about.
In this new policy memo, this research fellow builds on an earlier recommendation to create a permanent revolving loan fund using a portion of the one-time Strategic Community Investments Fund, which is a long way of saying, hey, we want to give money to private schools, but we can't just say we want to give money to private schools. But there is a way to...
Okay, I'll let you watch.
Okay, I guess I was wrong in the beginning when I said there ain't a damn person getting in contact with Kent and saying, whack this person. This, this Pickle Rick over here says it was them who sent the text. Thanks, Kent. So, okay. I was wrong.
His whole 14-minute program on your own if you'd like. I want to go to the end. He doesn't understand at all. Now, doesn't understand, cannot even comprehend the problem here and what he's really advocating. Let's just play the last few minutes instead.
So, I'm not going to play his whole video where he explains everything, and I'm also not going to give an accurate synopsis instead of playing the video where you can barely hear it. I'm just going to play part of it, then jump ahead when I get bored because I hadn't been able to say anything about coming down to Dinosaur Adventureland, and then I'm going to sit there and completely lie about everything going on because that's my entire fucking shtick because I'm Kent Hovind, bitch.
Oh, I like that phrase. Okay, let's see.
And get more capital investments. Like, it's an insane thing that you can't stop unless you vote these people out of office. For what it's worth, this November, on the Ohio ballot, voters could put an end to political gerrymandering. They could flip the state Supreme Court, which is currently 4-3 Republican. They could flip that and get rid of the Republican majority. They could also...
Is it me, or is it a coincidence, or is almost all the atheists are Democrats? Is there some kind of connection here?
Kent. I wonder why that might be. You might want to look at the political stances, the various rights issues at play, the basic acceptance or denial of reality. Oh, wait, I forgot. We're talking about someone who rejects actual reality. Yeah. He thinks he's making a point here that's some kind of cryptic, there's a coincidence here. It must be a conspiracy.
Come on.
See, you can almost tell he wanted to go into it there, but decided not to for one reason or another. Something just tells me he was ready to go off on a political rant, but knew he shouldn't.
Come on.
Re-elect Democrat Sherrod Brown as the U.S. Senator, which would help Democrats.
So it's coming up in the chat discussion about Kent's debates, and it's not debating him versus debating him. I'll take that opportunity to chime in that my stance is that people should... It would be best if we could just ignore Kent, but until he's gone, we can't. And debating him at least gives the best opportunity in real time that people would likely see to counter his arguments and his bullshit. That being said, the fact that he hides behind standing for truth and has these particular criteria that you have to go through to debate him so he can run his script, that shit needs to go. Donnie needs to stop sucking him off. The man needs to actually have proper, fair debates that are in some kind of actual standard that works, as opposed to Kent's absurd one topic at a time bullshit. Because that's just not how the subject works. Evolution is the biggest aspect of evolution to me is the fact that it is so multifaceted in how it's seen to be a fact that everything points towards the same conclusion. And that's why Kent does his one topic at a time thing. So between hiding behind Donnie and having his script and needing it to work on the one topic at a time so he can pull up the particular relevant section once you say the keywords. Fuck that shit. That's why my acceptance of a debate is based on him following my criteria. He would have to contact me, etc., because I'm not playing his game. Kneeling for Kent, exactly. Sorry, I got caught reading the chat. I'm like, wait a minute, this is live. I can't have dead air. Can't have dead air. Dead air, Hovind. Dead air like the kid who drowned it at my theme park. But the family had a good time. They didn't complain about the dead air or the dead kid. They enjoyed. They'll come back. You know, gotta visit their son's grave because we buried him on DAL right under the cross. Hovind.
Maintain control of the U.S. Senate, which.
And yes, people really do need to call Donnie out. I honestly think they don't, because for whatever reason, they don't want to get on his bad side. And honestly, I think I'm already on his bad side. I think he's aware of me and is aware of how blunt I am about talking about him. And I'm not completely banned from the channel, but I seem to be in some sort of like blacklist where I don't get acknowledged when I am watching like debates or if I ask a question or something. Then again, I didn't do it as a super chat, so it could just be the money issue. But yeah, Donnie, part of me hates Donnie more than I do Kent. And that's wild. I mean, I hate them in as much as you can, these clowns. But, you know, I think Donnie is, because of where he stands in using Kent for his own, to prop himself up, he's an even bigger scumbag. Like, all the scum that is Kent Hovind, plus whatever additional scumminess Donnie brings on his own, becomes the total sum of standing for truth as a concept's scumminess. If that makes sense. And yes, he is an embarrassment to Canada. Poor Canada.
Which confirms judges. There's so much on the line if you're in Ohio, and I say this as someone from Illinois where virtually nothing is on the line except local races. If you live in Ohio, if you know someone who lives in Ohio, make sure they are voting, make sure they're voting for the right things and the right people, because your vote actually matters.
I would agree with that. I think we need Trump in there. I think we need people with common sense who want to follow the Constitution.
Ladies and gentlemen, cognitive dissonance at its finest. Not going to get political here, but I think we all know the backwards ass bullshit that Kent just said. Let's continue.
Having the federal government involved in education at all is unconstitutional. Shouldn't be involved at all. It's a state issue. Read the Constitution.
Really, Kent lied about the kid. You know, why am I surprised at that? I do wish I had a camera so you could see the reaction on my face. Like, why would I be surprised that Kent lied about the person having, the family having a good time and stuff? Of course. Yeah, our friend 2BN323, Kent lied about the father of the boy who drowned, as I hear it. It doesn't speak to Kent and wants nothing to do with him. I'm sorry. It's a tiny laptop screen. I'm having trouble reading it, especially as it scrolls. Oh man. As Canadian, you do not claim Donnie Nubifier. We can all agree Canada does not claim Donnie, and I, as an American, support Canada's sovereign decision to not claim Donnie and just request that you not deport him down here, because we don't want that fuck. I was going to say something bad. That fucker. All right.
Carefully, okay? But let's let Hemant keep talking here. What do we got here?
You know, we're making surprisingly good time, but that's probably because most of the video is just him watching Hemant's video play.
1 minute left, okay.
There's a lot more in a place like Ohio.
3 times that happened.
I'm going to
3
stop
times.
there for now. What questions we got here? Should Muslims and Jews have to pay taxes for a Christian school? What if the opposite happens?
Well, should Christians and Jews and Muslims all have to pay for atheism to be taught in our schools? Or for evolution to be taught in our schools? It's a religion. Should we all be required? That's what's happening. Should we?
If I tell you how I really feel about things, Johnny G, they're going to shut this stream down faster than you can say some word that's really takes a while to say. So yeah, I got to be cool because they're listening. All of them are listening. No, I'm just kidding. I'm completely sane. Well, yeah, as sane as I can be. Just a paranoia joke from, so we're talking about Kent. Friends Brady and Chris, and Trump said he would suspend the Constitution. Kent's an idiot. Bingo! Yep. Right-wing nut jobs. You can be conservative and not be completely batshit, but that's not the way the trend has gone recently. That's all I'm saying.
We all be required to do that?
4 times Burr, thank you, Noobifier. And yes, Kent is obsessed with this idea of atheism and evolution being a religion. And the reason is he wants to take advantage of the First Amendment and the separation of church and state if he can paint actual science, reality, whatever he's against, into the same corner. He can get that separated, and then he feels like he's won there. But if he can get that going, it seems like he feels he can get the popular sway going to where, okay, now we're just going to ignore the whole separate religion from government thing, and let's put in my religious beliefs, and now everything's good. Give Kent money, please.
You're complaining. You're missing the point completely, Hemant, and you don't even get it. Your belief in evolution is tax funded. I resent that. Stop.
Yeah, well, no one gives a fuck what you resent, Kent, because you're a dumbass piece of shit who also doesn't pay taxes, abuses your wife, cheats at golf, and watches pirated mud wrestling on the satellite dish setting in your backyard. I don't know. I had a rant going there, and then my brain just went blip. Because I looked at Kent's eyes, and it's like, God, I accidentally got Hovind. You suck, Kent.
Stop. Go teach it in a private school.
For fuck's sake, Kent. Mute. Joseph, if you're supposed to be such a good tech person, or Sergio, wherever the fuck is the new tech guy, get this fucking jerk ass a goddamn mute button when he clears his fucking throat. I actually want to do a compilation of Kent just clearing his throat. But then I realized I don't want to subject anybody to that utter hell, nor do I want to go through the past couple of weeks of videos pulling every single throat clearing out of it. I work on weird projects, but I've got Guild Wars to play. I ain't got time to fuck around with that.
Sounds like a lot.
Oh, that would make buzz number 5. Tax dollars were used for Dino Adventureland. I am sure they were. I don't know for certain on that. How it would have gone out in the same way that Ken Ham's Ark Encounter was partly government funded. I would love to see the details on that actually, because there's a ton of stuff I don't know about Kent. I do these videos ripping into him. It's at surface level. I am nowhere near as deep as many of y'all, and people like AJ, how Robert Beatty was, and others. Let's see, what else? Bestiality is Kent's preferred viewing. We've seen it on Kent's computer. True. Let's see, anything else really good to comment on? Nope. I like this, a slower comment section. Until I get super popular, and then everyone's going to be coming to my streams, and I'll be more popular than Kent. I probably am more popular than Kent. Like in actual reality.
In the making. I'm halfway with you here. I don't mind people having to pay taxes, even if the taxes are not going to things they personally like. But when it comes to religion...
Tubian says, mud wrestling, no, but Kent's old tech guy, I think that would be Steve Lynn, had S&M porn on his computer's screensaver. I have to ask, men or women? Not that it matters. He can like whatever he wants, but I'm just legitimately curious. It's like, okay, you're showing off some depravity. How far down the rabbit hole does it go? Are you Ted Haggard over there, buddy? I mean, it's cool if you are, but don't act like you're better than people.
This is something that's explicitly forbidden in the Ohio Constitution. You have to pay.
Taking Back Eden says to hit that like button. Don't do it for Kent. Hit that like button on this stream for me. And because my stream actually works, as opposed to Kent's that runs like fucking shit. This is the second time it's done completely crapped out.
That are to promote one particular religion.
That's my gripe. Evolution's a religion, and we're all paying for it.
Okay, nerdy trucker. Seriously, when I get to a point where I've got I've got a StreamYard account. I could handle. I know I could operate it, but once I get to the point where I feel like doing sort of a call-in sort of setup, which is what I want to evolve these things kind of into, like I've got a whole show idea, in the back burner. I want to hear Kent Hovind stories. I'm gonna make like a dedicated set of streams just to be like, hey, let's discuss details on Kent. Teach me about this sociopath. Let's see. Nubifier, thanks a ton for being here. Tubian says the story he heard about Kent and not Kent, Steve and the S&M porn was that it was men. Again, whatever you like. It's just hypocritical to be Mr. I'm all Christian or support Mr. I'm all Christian and I'm godly and da-da-da and do something that's considered sinful like that. Steve had an affair with DAL staffer's wife, so he at least likes women. I mean, he can like whatever he wants. Doesn't bother me none. It's just, the holier-than-thou attitude that they all have and the egos on them. I mean, I don't know how much of a I'm the second Jesus that people like this Joseph guy and other people have at DL, like Kent thinks he's Jesus, but it's they've all got egos the size of the fucking moon up there.
I'll show you. Let me go back to my slides here.
Uh-oh. Going back to her slide, she's got to click his root slide and go in the directory to find which one of his 10 billion slides has whatever stupid claim he's making this week. Hovind.
This is all about the court case.
Yeah, Steve Lynn sounds like he'd be that kind of motherfucker to do that. Steve got her drunk and took advantage. I will not be using the word in question, but we all know what that word is, and yeah. Makes me kind of want to beat some ass, just saying. What up, Wayne? Wayne saying, what up, Kalisa? Declaring evolution to be a religion is so moronic, you're damn right.
This is of what's going on with the lower animal. I got too much stuff for tonight for one whacking atheist.
Too much stuff for tonight. I made this whole thing. I spent all my day whacking it and then making this to whack this to that. And I was whacking it to Hemat's picture because Hemat's cute and Hovind likes Hemant. He just Hovind's lonely. Please come love Hovind.
What happened back in 1925? There was a famous court trial in Tennessee called nicknamed the Scopes Monkey Trial.
Yeah, shout out to Tennessee. We weren't always a backwater shithole.
In there, they said, the crust of the earth is arranged in a series of horizontal strata of varying thicknesses. The lowest layers are obviously the oldest. That is pure baloney. Watch the video, Experiments in Stratification. The layers form.
Hey, I didn't pause it there either. His stream crapped out again. Hey, Kent, watch the video where I say fuck you. There. Got him.
With the tide going down, the water's going south, forming all the layers. There's no geological.
LAT says, Kent thinks we're firmly in the end times. I can't wait for his timeline for the end of the world falls flat. Bah, sorry, I'm always having trouble reading from the small screen. I'm turning into old man myself. Wonder if he'll admit he's wrong. Kent will never admit he's wrong about anything. We all know this. He will, just like every other end of days preacher, say that there is something going on, or God spared us, that he's not done with Kent doing his mission, so he couldn't rapture us all. But you'll notice, I'm sure Kent has said specific dates in the past, but I'm not sure if he too often regularly says it's going to be a certain date. I think he always just sort of alludes to it being a certain time coming up.
Pure imagine. None of the animals of the past are identical. That's not true. Many are identical like they are today. And
We got Mapleson bringing up Patriot Bible Trailer. Grammar degree from Patriot Bible Trailer. Hey, I've got 4 PhDs myself, and I'm debating on going for a 5th one. I got them all from Abide University because the dude abides. And you can too. Find out how. Here's a little tip. Seriously, you're going to love this part. It's free. You ain't got to pay $800.
The nearest relationship between a few species of the past have been placed in the same genera as those of today. This is all part of this transcript from that trial, okay? The Scopes monkey trial, it was called. Okay, it's all about the fabulous monkey trial in Tennessee. Bryan College is there in Dayton, Tennessee, a Christian college. They've done a lot of work on exposing all the baloney about this case, okay? Answers in Genesis did a great article on that. A teacher jailed in test.
The same Answers in Genesis that, doesn't like you, Kent. I find that hilarious that other creationists absolutely, will not touch this guy. Maybe that's why Kent's such a little sour-ass bitch about everything. It's like, any other creationists will play with me.
Of evolution law. That is not true at all. Nobody was jailed for teaching evolution. He was given a $100 fine, and he didn't even teach evolution. He was a PE teacher. He filled in for the teacher who was sick for the last 2 weeks, a biology teacher, and didn't teach evolution at all. Here's what happened in American public schools.
I'm not going to lie, I haven't really studied the Scopes monkey trial or any of this stuff, because it's not that I don't care, but it's that I don't care as in it's not something I've taken interest in, as opposed to, from a similar time period, the Teapot Dome scandal, which, yes, that is an obscure as hell Simpsons reference, and I got curious about it one day and looked it up. Quite fascinating. But, so, that's part of the thing about this is that, you need to obsess over this stuff to really actively go against Kent on his level, so to speak, in the way he wants you to. And that's just too much damn effort, because most of his stuff fails at point 0. You have to grant him points 0, 1, and 2 to get to where, okay, now we can discuss this. It's like, prove any of your shit even has a remote possibility, Kent. Stop lying about actual stuff. Get something new for one that's actually not been debunked 100 times over. Then we're talking.
From the 1800s to the 1925 era, creation was taught right from the Bible in public schools. Some evolution was taught if the teacher wanted to, but they were not required to do it. Here's a 1908 textbook. It's on the shelf here somewhere, okay? Here we go. Public school textbook. God created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and all that was made was very good. To purloin is to steal. Public school textbook. How about this one?
Hey, Ambush Apostate, you just got upgraded. Do whatever you feel is right if anything comes up. I trust your judgment. If anyone has a problem with it, they can get in touch with me and I'll review logs if they exist or whatever.
Prayer is a duty, but it's vain to pray without a sincere desire.
Ken has some shit in his throat, probably quite literally knowing him. That sounded weird. Oh man, it's like, wait, Chris, what do you know? And that's what happens when you let your brain run on autopilot. I mean, given how much of a sick fuck this guy probably actually is, it wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't gaggling down lots of bodily secretions.
Desire of heart to obtain what we pray for. To repeat the words of a prayer without such desire is solemn mockery.
Johnny G, not sure. Lead 206 would be a very interesting subject. I know he just hand waves stuff away, but the fact that we do have a radioactive isotope of lead is pretty damn interesting. But of course, Kent barely understands. Well, he barely understands anything, but especially when it gets into nuclear science, radioactive decay chains and the like, he doesn't have a bit of actual understanding of it. You can tell he is just reciting just enough for his script to work, and that's it, not a bit more. And it makes me sad that I'm not better trained and better skilled in nuclear science to be able to completely rip him apart. Maybe I should work on that. I'll make that as a note.
God governs the world in infinite wisdom. The Bible teaches it's our duty to worship him. It's a solemn thing to die and appear before God. public school textbook. Dayton, Tennessee, there's the courthouse where it happened, the famous monkey trial. 1920 to 1925, some states passed laws banning the teaching of evolution. Keep in mind, evolution was becoming a popular theory in the late 1800s. In the Scopes trial in Dayton,
Yep, and the religious side of things felt threatened and pushed very hard against it. But eventually, science won out until we reached the 50s and 60s religious revival in the United States, partly as a side effect of going against those godless communists in the Soviet Union. Which, how much you want to bet the Soviets or some other communist/socialist nation will get brought up? Spoiler alert, they do.
ACLU tried to get the law overturned, but they lost the case. For the next 40 years, some states still had laws against teaching evolution.
Johnny G talking about in the same boat, never a chemistry guy, trying to learn the decay chain. The decay chains are crazy because, like, you have things like the thorium cycle where things loop around. I just got brought dinner. You have the thorium, which is not thorium. Would that be cool? Would eating thorium be cool? No, it wouldn't be cool. What am I thinking? Okay, sorry, got distracted by sandwiches. So, depending on the particular radiation type that hits a given isotope that is fissile, will cause a particular kind of breakdown, which is going to be... I'm explaining this terribly, but this would be a point where if it was a normal video, I would have just stopped recording and started over. What I'm trying to say is, shit's complicated. You got your alpha and beta chains, your gamma chains. Depending on what hits what isotope, depends on what you get as a resulting product and what gets emitted. And especially when you reach around thorium, you can actually reach a point where it circles back around constantly, to where each decay product hitting one of the other decay products turns it into another part of the chain, and it just keeps looping as you hit the alpha and beta decay. It's wild. Oh man, glad y'all are still watching after that disaster. Let's continue.
Get the whole court case from Bryan College. I think that's still the number. I don't know. I should have tried it today, okay? What if the Scopes trial was retried in a modern university? This excellent novel does just that. You'll be on the edge of your seat as you read, the entire time as you read this one. Ride to Glory did a great job. I don't know who Warren Johns is. Good job, Warren.
I don't know who Warren Johns is, but they wrote a great book. Hovind, I'm going to advertise this book. Hovind takes $15 out the proceeds for plugging the book.
Answers in Genesis in Kentucky did a great article on the Scopes monkey trial 80 years later. In 1968, the last law, listen to me, the last law...
In 1968, listen to me. It's like he was yelling at somebody in the audience. They must have yawned or dared look at their watch or might have looked slightly above Kent's head at the Temu dinosaur lamp, and Kent got pissed.
Banning evolution was overturned.
Mapleson brings up the can-do reactors. Yes, those are some beautiful machines. Ooh.
1980.
On a side note, I caught Kyle Hill video the other day, it was live stream. They are planning potentially to reactivate Reactor 1 of 3 Mile Island. Microsoft might be setting up a contract, and the power company that owns the 3 Mile Island facility, which was shut down in mid-2019 if memory serves, the idea is that bringing that reactor back online will supply the power they need for the planned data center. Probably some AI thing or what have you. They would also rename the facility, apparently, since 3 Mile Island is kind of stigmatized. And I just think that's pretty cool, because I like the TMI plant. I thought it was a really... It just, yeah, we had Reactor 2's accident. That's resolved. That's the past. Reactor 1 was good. It was still perfectly serviceable reactor that has plenty of life in it, and because the nuclear plant couldn't make enough money, it wasn't profitable, they shut it down. It's wild.
Arkansas law.
Wayne, yeah, I brought that up early on. I think he just moved everything sort of stage right and swapped some things around. But I'm not sure, but it's definitely different. Because for one, he's got the video he's watching on the right versus the left. So he definitely flip-flopped, and it looks like a few other things got changed.
law demanded equal time, and that was overturned.
Michael N., hello. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here.
1987, Louisiana tried the same thing. Today, many teachers feel that they cannot teach creation or the Bible in their classroom. This is not true. Get the impact articles from ICR.org. You can go back and read all the past articles on their website.
What's that? This religious organization says it's okay to teach religion in your schools? Who'da thunk it?
They all deal with this. Teachers, if you're in a public school, you can teach creation. You can teach the Bible in a public school.
Define what you mean. The Bible can be taught in such a degree as a piece of literature or for cultural studies purposes, but it can't be taught as explicit fact as in an actual course in a theological construct. It is in like a church Sunday school class would be. And I'm pretty sure the same logic applies to the creation concept, bringing it up insofar as an alternate view that simply doesn't match reality. But that might still be pushing it, and were I teaching a science class, I certainly wouldn't bring it up. And within limits, certainly wouldn't stand for it being brought up, as many young earth creationist raised children are taught to bring it up and be very belligerent about that.
Louisiana passed a law requiring teachers to teach creation if they taught evolution. The law became...
And yes, Johnny G, Kyle Hill is fantastic. Especially loved him going to Chernobyl. Obviously, I desperately would love to visit. Just to see the reactor 4 sarcophagus would be incredible. I know I'd never get to go in, but I would sign any kind of paperwork to get to go inside and just explore wherever they would let me or wherever I could assist. If that, and that crazy idea, it'd be insane. But yeah, also the video of him hugging the radioactive waste that's in the cemented containers. That's pretty damn cool too, because everyone has a misconception about nuclear waste. And I'm sure Kent is probably heavily against nuclear power. I would love to ask him. I could call in tonight and ask him about that, but he wouldn't want to take that because it has nothing to do with evolution. I mean, he'd probably want to turn it into something. Well, yeah, nuclear power is great, but the isotopes aren't billions of years old, and a dot smaller than my wife's period, Hovind.
Required balanced treatment. Court struck that down. They said you can't require the teacher to teach evolution. You can't require the teacher to drink water either. It's never been against the law to teach creation. No statute exists in any state to bar instruction in creation science. It could be taught before and it can be taught now. This is Stephen Gould saying that after the trial. Mike Zimmerman said the Supreme Court ruling did not in any way outlaw the teaching of creation science in public schools. Quite simply, it ruled that in the form taken by the Louisiana
No place for creationism in a science class, really only a theology class? Exactly, Michael.
law, it's unconstitutional to demand equal time. Creation science can still be brought into classrooms if and when teachers and administrators feel it's appropriate. Numerous surveys have shown that teachers and administrators favor just this route. In fact, creation science is being taught in science courses throughout the country.
No, it's not.
Many public school teachers have my video series on their shelf and let the students check them out and take them home. Public school teachers, do that. Please, get some. Let your students take them home. Watch them. Show them in class. It's perfectly...
Now, okay. So Kent always says, I'm not wanting my religion to be taught in schools. Yet right there, he says, show his DVDs in class. I mean, we already know this piece of shit lies through his teeth on all this, but there he is, right there, lying like a piece of shit fuckwaste that he is. God, I love just going to town sometimes. Especially since it means Kent is very unlikely to play my videos in his stupid whacking atheist or anything else because he doesn't want anyone in his congregation to hear a bad word. Oh no.
Fine, there's no law against that at all. And it'll keep their attention a whole lot better than some of the other stuff they have to watch in class, okay?
All right, let's take a moment from Kent's nasally ass voice to read a few comments here again. Michael N. saying, Kent strikes me as the type who doesn't understand why heavy water reactors are so much safer. Yeah, he would not begin to understand neutron capture, thermal neutrons, any aspects of nuclear power, period. And let's see, Nerdy Trucker says, so let's see things about Kent for you to find out. Taxes, know about that. His old tech guy knows some details. That'd be Steve. Conspiracy theories, definitely know on that. Chris Jones, know some things. Brady Byram, I recognize the name. On Fourth Marriage, I know about that. Joe Hovind, Mary Tocco, Cindy Lincoln, and now Sandra, whatever the fuck her name is. Slamming Kids to the Ground, I know that. And Cindy Lincoln, know that. Heard the audio. That audio is painful to listen to. And I do also know, as an example of stuff I do know, him having beat the living fuck out of I think his first son's name is Kent Andrew, the dentist office story. That's really fucked up because he tells that with a sense of pride. Followed up, cops called on previously for domestic violence in his relationship with his kids, Ernie Land. And those are just the tip. Yeah, there is a lot to the Kent iceberg. I'm vaguely familiar with most things, but not in super detail. The recent Hill video on the Ocean Gate disaster or something else. You know, I need to watch that because he's about the only person I would think about. I would actually want to see his take on everything because honestly, when Ocean Gate happened, I was just like, fuck it, I don't even care. Yeah, and I'm like big on the Titanic too, and I'm just like with Ocean Gate, I'm just like, I can't even give a fuck about this. It just ended up being how I was. Son with brain damage. Okay, someone's gonna have to tell me more about that one. If you feel like it in the comments, please do. My throat's getting a bit sore. We're gonna let 0645 2017 talk a little more while I let that stop hurting as much.
Supreme Court decision only said Louisiana law violated the constitutional separation of church and state. It does not say no one can teach scientific creation. And unfortunately, many individual teachers still do. This is
And yes, during that bit where I just let him play, and you might be able to hear it in my voice, my throat's I'm a little gaspy here. I had a massive cough right there. And I'm muted, because unlike Kent, I'm considerate.
Jeannie Scott. Jeannie, I'll debate you anytime. Remember the time I came to your place out there in Berkeley, California? Had one debate with her. She won't do it again.
Friend Amish Apostate saying, dude, my dad told me my whole life, if you keep crying, I'll give you something to cry about. He learned that from a Hovind seminar. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's child abuse. And as for Nerdy Trucker, he's saying as far as the dentist story, I think it's his other son, but Kent Andrews definitely a bag of worms. I don't think it's Eric. And I'm with AJ. AJ brought this up when he did a thing about the story, is that it focuses on his oldest son during that moment, and he looks visibly upset. That's the reason I think, and others think, that it's his first son as opposed to Eric. But I don't know full, obviously I'm not there, so I don't know full details. And any contradictory opinions or whatever, we can definitely, talk about that and sort of figure it out, I guess you could say. Whew. Kent knows how to mute his mic. He doesn't. And also, every other time I'm reading the comments and I go to play, I hit the space bar on my laptop rather than the actual video. So I just put a space in here and wonder why there isn't anything. And yes, Eugenie Scott absolutely kicked Kent's ass during that. It was beautiful. It was actually the first pre-Whack-A-Hovind I was going to do was Kent looking at that, and I gave up halfway through and never went back to it. I wasn't feeling comfortable at the time. Maybe I should go back to that sometimes. Sometime, I should say.
Okay. They would get Skip and all the rest of your cronies out there. I'll debate them all. The whole group.
He did the chicken noises earlier. Let's go back.
In Berkeley, California. Had one debate with her. She won't do it again. Okay. They would get.
Okay, that's what I thought he was going. Kent, people who are actual professionals, especially professionals from 25 years ago now, so, age is catching up with everybody. They got more important things to do, like live their lives, than argue with your dumb ass. See, I do this for fun. And, again, you want to talk about people being chicken, you still haven't gotten in contact with me to schedule your debate with me, because that's the criteria, that is the first criteria that any discussion between you and I will happen on, is that you will have to come to me. Period. I ain't calling 855 Big Dildo, alright?
Skip, and all the rest of your cronies out there. I'll debate them all. The whole group. Somebody called National Center for Science
Yeah, I'll whack them all off with half my brain tied behind my Hovind. Hovind.
Education in Berserkly and say, Ken Hovind's challenging all of you to a debate at the same time. 10 against 1, or whatever many you got there, okay? Here's Jeannie right there. Welcome to the homepage, National Center for Science Education. No, it's not, Jeannie. It's the National Center for Religious Education Training. That's all. Religion is a...
No, it's the National Center for Science Education. That's what it says right there. Because that's what it is. I mean, this is... I believe this qualifies as a brute fact in that that's what it's called because that's what it's called. Just like you're Kent Hovind. I mean, you're also a piece of shit, but you know.
Evolution. It's a nonprofit tax-exempt membership working to defend the teaching of evolution against sectarian attack. You got to defend your religion, don't you? I know. Yeah. We are...
No, they're defending reality from your religion, your extremist religion, your reality-denying religion, your cult, Kent. But you get mad about that, because people don't buy your bullshit. $50 for a fucking DVD, they're gonna censor it, get every DVD number 5.
Nationally recognized clearinghouse for information and advice to keep evolution in the science classroom and scientific creationism out. That's their goal.
Deconstructing Lore 42, thank you so much. New Braunfels, Texas. I've been there. I helped a friend move there, so I have been to New Braunfels. Beautiful place. I would love to be able to move there. Just hopping in at work, so not able to watch much. Love your work. I appreciate that a ton. Oh, man. That kind of stuff just hits my heart in the right spot.
Avoid debate, she said. If your local campus Christian fellowship asks you to defend evolution, please decline. You probably will get beaten. No question about that.
Was Kent going to say no shit there? Also, those ellipses. Anyone want to look into that quote while we're streaming? Because I'm going to say cherry picking right there.
Is there, Jeannie? Try it again. Okay. William Provine, evolutionist, said, teachers and school boards in public schools are already free under the Constitution of the U.S. to teach about supernatural origins if they wish in their science class. Laws can be passed in most countries of the world requiring discussion of supernatural origin in science class and still satisfy national legal requirements. I have a suggestion for evolutionists.
Press X to doubt.
Include discussion of supernatural origins in your classes and promote discussion of them in public and other schools. Come off your high horse about having only evolution taught in science class. The exclusionism you promote is painfully self-serving and smacks of elitism. Why are you afraid of confronting the supernatural creationism believed by the majority of persons in the U.S. and perhaps worldwide? Shouldn't students be encouraged to express their beliefs about origins in a class discussing origins by evolution? Duh, good point.
Whew, what a load of bullshit that was. I would love to take the time to look into that particular text and see what all it is and eventually find out where it's some creationist bullshit. In fact, that's probably what it is. It's a book written specifically for creationist type courses, and it contains that text, but it's titled like a proper book. Ergo, it looks to the layperson as an actual, scientific author being like, writing these textbooks saying, hey, y'all need to teach both sides. And just to promote, Kent saying it just to promote his conspiracy. No, they're all trying to keep God out of the classroom and stuff, cause it's a conspiracy, I tells you. Conspiracy, Hovind. Hitting the comments real quick. Nerdy Trucker, pretty good donation stream idea for Kent. All he has to do is claim he wants to build a biodome, do an experiment to replicate the conditions on Earth pre-flood. I promise I can read better than that. I can read better than this. It is tiny text. I am an old man with an out-of-date prescription. Give me some break. Stop abusing me, Hovind. No. That would be interesting. Perhaps Hovind can seal himself into it and then cease to be. Stacy, oh man, we've got AJ's better half in here. Let's see. You're getting promoted. You get mod power here because that's what I'm doing. Howdy Kurisu. Thanks for protecting my right to comment about this ding-dong standards and practices be damned. Yes. Fuck S&P. This isn't FCC-regulated content. This is the motherfucking internet. We're doing shit the way we want to. Michael N., quick Google of his citation on the Scott quote, and I could not find a free copy on the internet from the first few results. Look like it's a paper book on creationism. Interesting. We'll have to look into that more. I thought majority opinion didn't count. Yeah, weird. It counts in this case, but for some reason when all the scientists say that evolution is a fact, it's a load of shit. That doesn't matter. It's just an argument from popularity, Hovind. Paul Hernandez, Kent follows the King James Version of the Bible, the worst translated version, and the shortest version of and it cuts off, I'm going to presume, the Bible. Yeah, that is a thing, isn't it? That it's an oddly shortened version because it's been so, you could almost say censored. And I always like to bring up that it's from 1611, that it's lines on paper from 1611, and this man wants to argue that stuff from 17 and 1800s is old, so it doesn't matter. And it's like, dude, your book, the variant of the book you worship, that you use to just prop your own self up, because secretly he just worships himself, is that old. It's like, what the fuck? Just, oof. Kent is a real piece of shit. I mean, piece of work. I mean, outstanding citizen. God damn, I'm having fun. Glad y'all are here. I really appreciate this. It's made a rough week just awesome.
This person said, who is Paul? I'm opposed to a science textbook.
Sorry, I'm taking antacid to help with a slight bit of heartburn from getting sort of excited here. That's not me. That is Kent's stream fucking up again. And I love this because this happens when he does, like, right as he starts something like this. It always seems to happen. And if it wasn't for the fact that I'm not stupid, I would almost think that it's God sitting there being like, Kent, shut up, but doing a really poor job at stopping it. Raul Hernandez saying, yeah, I forgot to type Bible, lol. All good words. Pressing these weird keys on this plastic and metal machine to make words appear on this glowy bit is apparently a legitimate challenge at a point. I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm just being playful about it. I accidentally the sentence all the time, so don't worry, brother. And I did the thing again where I pressed space on the laptop. Oh, I should have a live cam up of me doing these streams. Just, oh man. Like a wide view of like the production studio. Y'all don't want to see this mess. Let's continue.
John Wiley, and do you think have the right to withstand
This is pathetic. This is so fucking pathetic.
Do you think parents ought to have the right to demand that a post be taught?
Look at it. Google finally caught up.
On one particular type of Christianity be given special consideration. It's getting more and more difficult to say the truth all the time. Thanks for giving Christian science teachers some tools and resources. Paul?
Billy, so taking a break from Kent's stuff for the past couple of months, but as Joseph left and Sergio took over? No, because Joseph, you have to watch my most recent video. Joseph was commenting on my channel, telling me to call 855 Big Dino to schedule a debate. And I'm like, no, Kent told Sergio on August 8th to contact me to schedule a debate, see if we can schedule a debate with this guy. And so I've been waiting for a month and a half on that email. You know, waiting in quotes. Oh man. And he gets all pissy. I'm like, TikTok, motherfucker? He's like, you're not going to make demands of Kent. You're not going to disrespect us. And I'm like, oh yeah, like Kent disrespects other people all the time. And I can make all the demands I want. Kent said he wanted to debate me. That's my time he wants now. It's not the other way around. I'm not going to come crawling and be like, please, Daddy Hovind, debate me. Fuck that shit. I don't want to argue with this dinosaur. But if he wanted to, sure, under my conditions, and with me getting that nice $20 an hour fee. because it's going to be worth it for me to waste my time with this son of a bitch, one way or another.
Any of you public school teachers, call me. My mom retired from teaching public school. My brother retired from teaching public school. There's a lot of good, godly teachers in there. Teachers can teach creation science in the classroom if they want. Never been a law against it. This is one of those impact articles I
Religious text says you can do a thing that's religious. What a surprise, Hovind.
referred to earlier. Call icr.org. Get them all back there. Not only can you teach creation science in public schools, you can teach it right off the Bible, if you will, right out of the Bible. And teach or devote a class to religion and have the textbook be the Bible.
Yeah, about religion as a concept, as a piece of something to be studied in the same way we do, like, ancient mythologies and the like. Not the way you're making it seem, buddy.
We all know the effects of what happened in 1963 when the Bible was taken out and evolution.
Yeah, Stacy, surprised an ambush apostate recognizes a name from Discord. Yeah, we're talking about Atheist Junior's Discord, where he brags about you all the time, Stacy. Seriously. He's so proud of you. He loves you. And we love him, so vicariously we love you. Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. I should start my own Discord. I mean, I've got other communications methods. I'm big into old computer stuff, so I run a BBS. I've got an image board somewhere. I got my website and all that jazz. I should start up a Discord for the hell of it. That might be fun. Let's see. Michael N says, whenever I schedule interviews, I'm always trying to stress how important it is for them to send me the dates, times that work best for them. I try to make it as easy as possible to take up their time. Yeah, see, it's being considerate. That's just how it works. You never taught in public school, you can't stop lying. This is true. So when I did the Vox article, Whack-a-Hovind, I went to the second half because the first half just kept on slogging on. I got sick and tired of redoing it. But 5 times in the beginning of that, he does a show of hands thing. And here's the thing. When you do the show of hands thing, when someone who teaches, in quotes, does that, it's always done with young audiences. It's a showing that, hey, other people, we all are a group. Some of us have done the same thing. I can relate to these people and relate to the person, talking. It's a way to get children to sort of understand, that we all may do a certain thing, or maybe we don't. You can see oh, this person does have this person doesn't have this, or something. We all know it. We all remember it from when we were little kids. And that's just it. You don't do that with high school students. You don't do that with adults. Which means that Ken Hovind, more than likely, the vast majority of his teaching career, including those 15 years, weren't even teaching anyone above adolescent range. That they were all younger kids. Because the way he formats things, the way he does stuff, just screams elementary school teacher at best. Not to disparage elementary school teachers, it's just the simple way that you approach them versus someone older.
And put into the schools. But we've been deceived by the ACLU, that's the American Communist Lawyers Union. In 1963, Supreme Court banned the use of the Bible to try to get kids saved, which is not good, obviously, but it's a lot better than what the ACLU led us to believe.
So I'm going to let y'all in on a story. I got a lot of little stories. It wasn't a super religious childhood coming up, but there are some things that happened that in retrospect were a little weird. I remember elementary school, probably 4th grade, so this will betray my age here, sometime around 1994, getting on the bus that there was somebody, and we're talking from the school, so on the school property, someone handing out small New Testaments. And I didn't think anything of it. But of course, as an adult, and thinking back at that, I'm like, hang on, that makes no sense. Why would they be allowed to do that? Why would that be happening? I obviously never got an answer. I'm not going to send an email to the school board, Memphis Shelby County School Board, trying to be like, hey, can you explain why at this school back in probably 1994 range that this happened? How the fuck are they going to know? But it's just one of those things that happened that I think back and I'm like, that shouldn't have happened. I know too many cases like that. I have a few obviously creationist teachers. I had a music teacher who was a cool guy, but he would tell us all about how they found Noah's Ark and we would just be chatting. It's like, yeah, they found Noah's Ark in Turkey. And then I had a biology teacher who wrote that evolution was, quote, something some people believe, and didn't really go into it on his biology work. But other stuff, I don't have too many extreme memories of, like, religiosity and stuff. But yeah, that one I just wanted to share because it was kind of an interesting little thing. It's like, in retrospect, I'm like, why are they giving out little New Testaments? And you probably know the ones I'm talking about, too. They're actually kind of cool, for the fact that they're filled with BS. But yeah, that was a thing that happened, and I was just like, okay, I took the book and, looked through it and was like, this sucks, and kept on about my life.
They did not throw the Bible out. We've thrown the Bible out because we allowed ourselves to be deceived by the ACLU, National Council on Biblical Curriculum in Public Schools. I should have called.
They just call the ACLU communist? Yeah. Yeah. Because everything's communism, because Kent is the quintessential boomer. Gotta fight them communists. Even though, he takes advantage of social programs. There's, communism is... Elements of communism require socialism to sort of work, and, we can get into a whole treatise on economics and property ownership and stuff, but it suffices to say that, things that he would say he's against, if you brought them up in other context, he takes advantage of, Just saying.
Her today, Elizabeth, call me please sometime. 855 Big Dino, extension 3. I'll promote your ministry if you're still doing it.
Everyone who isn't at DAL is a communist. Hell yeah, I'm a communist. My pre-stream music should have been the Soviet anthem instead of light music from North Korea. Which, if you were here at the beginning, or you go back to the beginning of the stream, that's what was playing. I got a shtick going on. Spoiler alert. I would have an objection to playing the Soviet national anthem as like an ironic joke, though, because in 2000, Russia switched to using that music with new lyrics for its national anthem because people felt a sense of pride with the Soviet anthem. And so, given the current state of Russia, Ukraine, and the like, I can't in good conscience play any version of that without it feeling disrespectful to the current situation. But I do think the originally written Soviet anthem as a piece of music is actually quite beautiful. Soviet Union itself, not so much, but,
The best statement I ever heard on the humanist motivation was a comment regarding the American Civil Liberties Union successful lawsuit to get a Christmas manger scene off a courthouse lawn. The critic said, the ACLU is just jealous that they don't have what the scene depicts, 3 wise men and a virgin.
Boomer humor. That's a violation of the First Amendment, Kent. Get the fuck over it. Otherwise, we can just have our Baphomet statue right next to it. Want to put the Baphomet statue up? Because I'm all for that. Or how about the 6 statues to the 6 gods in Guild Wars? I would be all for that. Dwayne is fucking hot. And only people who play Guild Wars know what I'm talking about. The rest of y'all are like, what? Oh, man. There's some good stories in Guild Wars. Far better than the Bible. But let's see if we can finish through this video. We can power through. It's just, damn. You get those guys together, it's something else.
Teachers to discuss evolution in science class, they cannot require them to discuss creation. Teachers may discuss creation in science class if they wish. This is,
again, I'm sure, as discussing it as a concept that exists, but not effectively teaching it. The only thing more slippery than the English language is Kent Hovind's ability to manipulate it to his own horrible ends.
Mel Gabler's organization in Longview, Texas. Great bunch of folks. They were anyway. Still are, I hope. That's the old phone number.
Kent drinking from his cup of jizz water. All the court jizz is in the cup, and Kent drinks it. I apologize for that. I'm trying to... AJ set a standard for horrible jokes like that when he and I did that video together. I was not expecting him to go completely to the extreme. I gave him permission and he took it, so... And now I feel like I gotta keep up that energy.
Courts allow states to require discussing scientific weaknesses in evolution, but not
Statue of Shiva? Yeah, let's put it up. And hadn't thought about Guild Wars in years? Yeah, I was playing Guild Wars 2 on day 0 Well, not day 0. It was day 2, actually. I bought it day 1, and then it had to update, and my slow DSL sucked. Played it for like a year and a half, loved it. As things started changing, I kind of fell out with it. Took like a 9-year break, came back right at the 10th anniversary, played for about 3 months, stopped, then came back again about 4 months ago, and have just been on a constant burn of it. Like, me and Guild Wars have finally clicked again, and I fucking love it. Feel so at home. Seriously, Guild Wars 2, if you're looking for an MMO, if you want to just throw the rest of your life away and play a massively multiplayer online RPG, God, I hate that term, give it a go. It's fucking awesome. Free to play for the base game. So, just saying. And the game is technically free to play, but expansions and stuff cost, but the prices are fair, and yeah, you get a hell of a lot of content. So, just saying.
Discussing evidence for creation. The landmark ruling in the U.S. Court ruling 1963
Nubifier's back. What's up, bro?
said, it certainly may be said that the Bible is worthy of study for its literary and historical.
I mean, if y'all don't know, I go hardcore with this stuff. I'm pushing until the point where I just completely break. Like, I don't even know what time it is right now. It is 5:57. Holy shit. So at 6 o'clock, I got to be at work in 12 hours. At 6 p.m., my phone goes straight silent. Do not disturb. I have spent my entire afternoon after getting home on this. Because that's what I did. I came home, got out of my work clothes, started this. So if you are enjoying, and again, are able to donate via Super Chat, wish to become a channel member, or any of that stuff, please feel free to. No obligation, but it helps a ton. I don't know how it helps a ton, but I can make money stretch. your $5 will go a long way. Let's continue. Love y'all.
Historic qualities. Nothing.
Stacy, thank you a ton for that. I always feel kind of out of place when I'm streaming with AJ, especially with Aiden there, because they're just so natural at it, and I feel stilted and weird. But I also am my own worst critic, so got to learn to relax from time to time.
We've said here indicates that such study of the Bible or of religion, when presented objectively as part of a secular program of education, may be effected consistently with the First Amendment.
Yeah, see, that's what I've been saying. That if you're teaching it as a concept that exists for full comprehension of the greater picture, sure. If you're teaching it as fact, that's a different story.
The Bible may constitutionally be used in an appropriate study of history, civilization, ethics, comparative religion, or the like.
Yes. So if, let's say, you're studying ancient Rome and wish to cover the period where Rome Christianized, especially insofar as that helps to explain the spread of Christianity through Europe and how it took over from the predecessor pagan religions of the various areas that the Roman Empire conquered, you would need to kind of at least describe the details of the Bible, especially in enough context for it to make sense with the stories of how, was it Constantine, I think, eventually Christianized the Roman Empire. He was like, we're going to follow this guy now. It was like 300 AD or something, I'm not sure. I don't know about them Romans. The Goths sacked them, some stuff happened. Had the Dark Ages, had a plague. Then next thing you know, we're flying to the moon. History's weird, man.
Permitting public school observances, which include religious elements, promotes the secular.
That's the words I'm looking for. Thank you, Elusive Man. Comparative religion. That is exactly what the name I was looking for. Because comparative religion courses, for people interested in this stuff, they provide a wealth of information, especially for someone studying sociology, anthropology, and the like. Definitely something that would need to be known. How are you going to understand the Middle East if you don't understand Islam and don't understand the Quran? How are you going to understand history of various areas of East Asia if you don't understand, Shintoism, Buddhism, Taoism? How are you going to understand India if you don't understand Hinduism? You're just not fully.
Purpose of advancing the student's knowledge and appreciation of the role that our religious heritage played in the social, cultural, and historical development of civilization. Teachers already possess the flexibility to present a variety of scientific theories about the origins of humankind and are free to teach any and all facets on this subject. Supreme Court case. Teaching a variety of scientific theories about the origins of mankind to school children.
Tyler's nailed it. Magic Man 101, Hovind. Magic Man made people from dust, then made red woman. Then red woman screwed everything up because women are bad, Hovind.
Might be done with the clear secular intent of enhancing the effectiveness of science instruction. Teachers, you can have me come speak at your public school. You can. I'll be honored. I'll come free. Okay?
I'd like to see that happen, Kent. I really would.
Pay my way to get there. Depending where it is, I don't know.
Pay my way to get there because I can't drive. All my trucks are old. I sold the side-by-side, so we got all the Jeeps for a gravel pit, but they're not road legal, so Hovind can't drive anywhere. Hovind's stranded. He has to DoorDash all his food, Hovind. Poor broke Hovind.
About Alaska and all that place. Let me qualify that. Maybe I'll pay if I got the money. Discussions of any scientific fact, hypothesis, or theory related to origins, or the origins of the universe, the earth, and the how, and are appropriate to the science curriculum. California State Board of Education. Now, Dr. Hovind, should teachers in public schools teach creation?
Kent, you're not a doctor. Fuck off. Go to jail.
The bigger question is, should we have public schools?
Yes.
If we're going to have them, then federal government should not be involved. It's a state or a community issue.
You know, from the same guy who talks about following the Constitution and the like, but is also all small government. Right-wingers are always all small government until it comes to their politicians getting into the government, and then all of a sudden, they're all about it, and they want to make sure to legislate the fuck out of everything. That's something I've never gotten, is the right-wing paradox, that they don't want the feds in everyone's business, yet they want the feds in everybody's business. Only when it applies to the business they want them to be in, though. Stay away from our guns, stay away from our churches, but go after the hobosexuals and them trans people and the marriage that's bad because that makes Jesus cry. What you do in the privacy of your bedroom makes Jesus cry, and that makes me feel bad. Fuck you, Kent.
You have all taxpayers being forced to support the public school, then probably no religion should be taught.
Right? No schools want to hear Kent's bullshit? No churches either. Nice tag team, Elusive Man and that nerdy trucker. Stacy saying he wants publicly funded school to pay for travel expenses to hear from a YEC. Always telling yourself, you goddamn tool bag. Damn straight. And 2BN323 trying to understand he's a magic man. Hovind.
Teach science in science class, not evolution. Evolution's a religion. 10th Amendment to the United States.
No, it's not, fuckface.
The power is not delegated to the U.S. by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states. Show me in the Constitution where the federal government has authority to be involved in education at all.
Kent, you know, that would be awesome for you and an attorney on federal law to go through in a nice bit of discourse. But you'll never do that. And if someone did show you that, you just hand wave it away. Because it's an extremely nuanced thing, like everything is. In reality, extremely nuanced. I don't know the details. It's not something I've studied. But I guarantee you, Constitution, at a certain level, at a certain point written in, between the way states agree to stuff, and the feds agree to stuff, and it goes back and forth, because shit in this country is really fucked up. We're like 50 small countries in a bigger country. Yeah, eventually, they decided that, yeah, the feds are going to set a standard, which is a good thing, because it means, as a nation, we all have the same, are supposed to have the same core standard for education quality and content. And that ensures that all together, from California to Florida, from Maine to Washington, Alaska and Hawaii, we should all be up to some kind of similar level and be able to just, everything works. And you want to undermine that. You want to destroy that. Because that's just what you want, apparently. Fuck, I'm tired, but we are powering through this.
They're supposed to punish evildoers, provide for the common defense, have a military. When Trump gets elected, I want to be Secretary of Education and close down the Department of Education.
Fuck you, kid. Oh, man. I hurt my throat laughing that much. we're gonna hold them to this one. In fact, I'm screenshotting that shit now. It'll be buried in my photos folder. We're gonna hold him to this one when things don't go his way.
Tell Mr. Trump needs to get me in there, Secretary of Education.
You couldn't teach your own self to shit in a damn toilet. That sounded better in my head. I apologize, people.
U.S. Department of Education, fostering educational excellence and ensuring equal access to who for what?
To everyone for a good education, that people shouldn't be priced out of the ability and right to learn. It's a sickening thought that under your system, everything would be a private school, which would be priced out of virtually anyone who isn't reasonably well off. And so people would grow up completely uneducated, dependent on the manipulative bullshit of your elitist ilk. Fuck you, Kent.
Yeah. 19.
Actually, no, that explains everything, that Kent is against the public education system, because the public education system is, by definition, socialism. It's a socialist system. And that's communist, and that's bad. Fucking idiot.
2010, there's 4,000 employees. By 2010, I said 4,300 employees. Religion in North Korean schools.
Here's where the fun begins.
Religion is not explicitly taught in North Korean schools. According to the United States Department of State, the Database Center of North Korea, anti-religious views, particularly towards Christianity, are taught in kindergarten and throughout the public school system. The North Korean...
Love how he skips to Buddhism, and just want to get my throat in the right state for this. Chondagyo. Because as a Korean, I always try to be really, 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 really proper with it. Matters of interest, but not as religions. I'm sure you all already know the thing about North Korea. That it's an authoritarian nightmare. I just went super country with that. Nightmare. And especially with the kind of... Now, it's been really toned down recently, but it used to be a serious case of almost worship of Kim Il-sung, and to an extent Kim Jong-il. Aron-Ra told the story of the North Korean official story of Kim Jong-il's birth. That there was rainbow, Mount Baekdu, and all that. It's a miraculous story. It's almost a Jesus story, which isn't the case. He was born in Russia in like 42 or whatever, and his name is really like Yuri Isarevich whatever. It's kind of wild, but yeah. And Kim Il Sung was also magic. Like there is an old propaganda song from the 90s. Look it up. General uses warp. It is a reference to an old Korean magic, Cheksubo, something to that effect, about being able to move 10,000 ri, a unit of measurement at the time, so like 1,000 miles, let's say, in an instant. So the idea is that Kim Il-sung could literally warp from place to place to place to place to place. Now, naturally, when you're telling stories like that, you don't want, outsider religion, which North Korea wouldn't want anyway, coming in and polluting the minds of the people. You want them, believing this crap. Now, DPRK has since moved away from that, the magic, the deification and the magic of Kim Il Sung and Kim Jong Il, but it's still part of the cultural zeitgeist in kind of a funny way, and it only makes sense then that when you've got such an authoritarian case where you're going to in effect worship the leaders, that you would want religion out of there. But again, that's because of the authoritarianness. But Kent's just going to say it's because they're communists, which by definition, North Korea isn't communist either, but we could go into a whole thing. North Korea is one of those things I actually study a lot.
Let's see, what is it called here? Database Center reports cases of violations of the right to freedom of religion or belief, including killing and disappearance.
Capital punishment for children? Yeah, Kent would most definitely bring that back. Because Kent is a complete fucking asshole. Fuck you, Kent.
For those found practicing religion outside of state sanctioned activities. What you really want, Hemant, is you want only your religion to be taught. You're discriminating against all the other ones, aren't you? Now,
You're so full of shit, Kent. I can smell you from here.
again, I don't think we should even have public schools. Not federal involvement.
Yuri Kim, thank you, Tubian. Thank you.
States can, counties can, not federal. Okay. How about Iranian schools? Do you think they teach Christianity?
Iran. What happened in 1979 in Iran? Let me get a show of hands. Does anyone know what happened in Iran in 1979? Oh yeah, the fucking revolution. The Shah was deposed, ties with the West were cut, strict Islamic policies were enforced by the Ayatollah and the president of Iran, and have continued to this day, 40 years later. Oh yeah, look, he talks about learn Shia Islam, da-da-da. Yeah, and again, a very authoritarian government was put in place. It's almost as if the authoritarianism is the issue, but you can't see that. Also, I'd like to note that Iran isn't a communist or socialist country. They're a theocracy. The same thing you want, Kent. This doesn't go the way you think it does for your argument, buddy.
Based on provided research, Christianity is not taught as a formal subject.
Let's see, Crypto 457 says, Ken Hovind, I beat up Eric every day and he obeyed me. And years later, his son wouldn't sell his first dinosaur park and the first dinosaur park and kick him to the curb. Stacy saying, ladies couldn't wear skirts anymore. Yep. Afghanistan too. Iran and Afghanistan, the religious takeover was horrible. Things went from being pretty damn normal, as you could imagine, a place looking, in the Middle East, looking in the 70s, just beautiful, to a hellhole. And I hate saying that because I don't like to talk about other cultures like that, but it was definitely a downgrade.
In Iranian schools, I guess not. They have exclusive rights.
Elusive man, exactly. How many churches are there in the U.S.? Your religion is fucking everywhere. He seriously thinks that this is the W that he thinks it is.
Do you think the biblical account of creation is taught in schools in any of these countries, Hemant?
It's probably not taught in schools all through Europe. Probably not taught in Russia. Probably not through reasonable parts of Africa. And I mean reasonable parts as in a decent chunk. There's some outlier countries, sure. Not Australia, I don't think. I know, the UK has the Church of England and all that, and it's part of the school system, and it's weird like that, but I think it's really kept low-key. So, I mean, that's your point, but, it's got to be the communism. And, again, North Korea isn't properly communist, but, that's here nor there.
All communist countries, they don't teach them. Do you think...
Crypto went to Oregon for vacation years ago, and every 5 minutes there's a church. There's many churches in the U.S. Yes, as our Starbucks. Yeah, come down to Memphis. Same thing. It is church everywhere. It's fucking mental, man. There is literally a part in Bartlett, Tennessee, suburb of Memphis, an area that was just a straight shot from where I used to live. It's 4 big-ass churches, one on each corner. If you were a person who had to walk, and there's neighborhoods surrounding, if you had to walk, you'd have to go easily half a mile of nothing but open space for the parking lot and the decoration for these churches. And they're not mega churches. They're just big churches. You got stupid-ass Bellevue Baptist with the 3 ugly-ass crosses. That's a fucking nightmarish mega church. It's a fucking nightmare. I wouldn't be surprised if they aren't licking Ken Hovind's ass themselves.
The biblical account of creation is taught in any of these countries that are all Muslim? Probably not.
Kent probably thinks Europe's communist. Yeah, because it's a good portion of Europe's socialist. It's funny that a good portion of Europe is socialist, and it also seems to be doing better than most of the world. Funny how that works. And Arizona has churches on every block as well. I can imagine.
Not the biblical account.
I mean, seriously, you can imagine it just about everywhere in this place. The only place I've been that I hadn't seen churches on every corner was when I was in Milwaukee for Midwest Gaming Convention, and on my way through Illinois, but I still saw plenty of churches on the way, but the proportion along the highway was far less.
Okay. You think the biblical account of creation is taught in any of the schools in these countries?
Nubifire says in Manitoba. I love the names of Canadian states and provinces and the like. Cities too. Thunder Bay, that's fucking cool. Sidetrack. Here in Manitoba, my town has more churches than restaurants. Yeah. That's about how it feels. I swear there's got to be a town out there that has more churches than homes. Has to be. Phoenix is the home of Steven Anderson? Yeah, that fucking scumbag. Don't remind me he exists. It's rather funny they're also poaching each other's congregants to try to own their neighbors. Like Starbucks poaching employees from another Starbucks from across the street. Seriously. The religion game's fucking crazy. But you gotta make that money. Gotta get those donations. Gotta lie to people. Like, if I seriously had like a video intro, it would be the clip from early in Rick and Morty where like that goop is going through and turning everyone like evil or making them be honest, and there's the church. It goes over them and it says, God is a lie, we made him up for money. That's it. That's the entire thing. Let's continue with 0645-2017.
Countries? The Bible is illegal in 52 countries. Not strictly illegal, difficult or dangerous to obtain in the light orange ones. Red ones, illegal or highly restricted. Black ones, strictly illegal. You got to smuggle it in to get a Bible. So, evolution is a religion.
Oh no, these other completely independent countries are against my religion. Whatever will we do? Says the guy who wants his religion to take over this country and for us to be hostile to every other religion. He doesn't see the hypocrisy there. Not at all. Because he's Ken Hovind. Fucker can't see shit. Doesn't understand shit. Doesn't know shit. Fuck you, Kent.
To believe it happened, you have to believe by faith that time, space, matter, and energy created themselves. This is a religious belief. It's never been observed, Hemant.
Johnny G telling a story here. On a lighter note for a laugh, everyone, once volunteered at a conference to provide first aid. I walked in and saw this large dinosaur head on top of a banner and thought, well, this looks cool. Then I walked around the corner and saw the banner. Banner said Creation Ministries International. Realized very quickly it wasn't in a good place. Sounds about right. I have zoomed in on my laptop slightly, so it's slightly less combative to me being in old man mode. Hopefully, your donations, your super chats will ensure that I can eventually get a pair of glasses prescription that actually fucking works for my blind ass. Or at least be able to afford reading glasses. I'm not even 40 yet. Melandrew, help me.
Okay? Admit it. It's a religion. Matter organized itself into stars and planets. That's a religious belief. Never been seen.
Except it's been seen. He's doing his 6 stages of evolution. I didn't even realize it. I'm too focused on the chat and you guys. Fuck, I kind of wish this was a StreamYard stream so I could just have y'all in. We're making it through this, though.
Okay? Life came from non-living chemicals. That is a religious belief. Hemant, it's never been observed. Plants and animals had offspring other than their kind. That's never been observed. These family trees you have in our textbook where the humans are related to the...
That's a good point, Mapleson. Genesis type creation taught in Iran. If my understanding of Islam is correct, that, yeah, a variation of that would be included in there. So, yeah, it would be. You know, it's just a funny thought that it's the same God. It's, you know, if Christianity is the Judaism Expansion Pack version 1.0, then Islam is Judaism Expansion Pack version 2.0. Then you get all the fan-made mods with, like, Mormonism and the like. But, yeah, it's just a funny thought that they argue so much about that.
What?
Sorry, I'm losing a bit of steam here. It's been a hot minute. I don't even know how long this thing's been going on, but man, this has been fun.
Spinach or something? Drawing lines on paper connecting different life forms is not evidence they're related. These silly family trees are nothing but artwork and propaganda to brainwash people.
Except that they are science because they provide a simplified explanation on how things are related. And if anything is just lines on paper, it's your Bible, Kent. Not any of this, because these are depictions of the actual science and the actual facts. You lying piece of shit.
This is a religion, not science. Hemant, there is no geologic column. These layers are not different ages. If they are, where's all this new material coming from? Is it coming from outer space? Every speck of dirt in the universe is the same age, whether 6,000 or 6 trillion. There is no fossil record, Hemant. There are fossils by the trillions from the flood of Noah.
He's on his script.
This is not a record. None of them can talk. None of them.
Thank you, Tyler. Yes, don't forget to like. And I am reading every comment that comes in the chat. Sorry I'm not reading them all out. I will definitely work on getting a setup that will allow me to show the comments and stuff on screen and just, let things flow, because I'm having a ton of fun here, and I don't say it enough. I genuinely do appreciate everyone here. It is fucking awesome. Y'all are just the best.
Have a date stamped on them. There's nearly 100,000 public schools in the United States. Middle schools, high schools, junior high, etc. See, 1,600 public 4-year and 2-year colleges in 19.
And yet, lines on paper is such a weird one for Kent to say. I mean, I know what he's doing. He's trying to just discredit and be like, it's just a picture. He's just trying to dumb it, insult it, be derogatory to the concept, because that's all he can do. Which I know is rich coming from me, where I've called this guy a piece of shit at least a dozen times in this stream. But, that's the point here, is that we're talking about the garbage person that Kent Hovind is, as well as addressing some of his arguments where we feel the urge. But Kent is just nasty about this stuff to be spiteful and to be petty, just to fulfill some kind of means to an end for himself.
In 2021. So,
man who can't tell the difference between a heron and a pterosaur. Yeah.
Hemant, are you upset that over 102,000 public schools get tax funding to teach the evolution religion? Does that
It's not a religion, Kent. How many times do I have to tell you, you stupid fuck?
upset you? Or are you only upset about a few schools in Ohio getting $4 million?
Oh, Kent can't handle Hinduism being older. He couldn't take Zoroastrianism, any of that stuff. He could not. He will not even attempt to rationalize that. He's just going to say it's just made up bullshit, which is funny. I mean, he wouldn't say it exactly like that, but that would be his implication, which would be funny coming from the guy who's obsessed over made up bullshit. Also, I would like to note the classic take a frame from somebody that's not quite flattering and put it in your slide, because Ken Hovind can't be just a halfway decent person once in his fucking life. He has to perpetually be a shitbag.
Should Muslims and Jews have to pay taxes for a Christian school?
Elusive Man with the question. If all we can tell from fossils is that they died, how does Kent know they died before, during, and after his magic flood? He doesn't. He just says they do, because his mindless sheep will believe him. I know you know that, but I just want to say it for the record. And I also want to say for the record, eat a bag of dicks, Kent.
Should we have public schools at all?
Ooh, Crypto457. In a Dapper Dinosaur video, he actually stated that birds walk on their elbows like pterosaurs, as he believes pterosaurs were birds. In his amoeba-eating brain, all animals are quadrupeds. Oh, man, I did not know that one. That's fucking hilarious. He's Dr. Dino, and he doesn't understand what the fuck a pterosaur actually is. Good God.
Every religion should start their own, including the evolution religion. And it's nothing but a religion. So I challenge you, Hemant, open challenge. Everybody call him, say, Dr. Hovind has challenged you to a debate. Your channel, my channel, neutral channel, any channel.
Oh, so now Kent is challenging people to a debate on some random channel. Okay, here we go. Do it on my channel. Because one, I think Hemant's cool. I'd love to talk to him. And two, I would love to moderate your sack of shit ass into oblivion. But I would still be fair. But I would hold your feet to the fire, Hovind. You worthless piece of shit. How many times have I said worthless piece of shit? I don't know. Even grasshoppers are quadrupeds. Technically, yeah. I mean, in Ken Hovind's world, technically, yeah. Grasshopper. It's a swarming thing, this quadruped. The spider's a quadruped. Hovind. God, I've been exposed to too much Hovind. It's rotting my brain. Technically, yeah. Hovind. Okay, is there anything else good in here, or does he prattle on for another 10 minutes with questions and answers, or jerking off to his congregation, or making more racist gestures? Let's see for a little bit. This may be towards the end.
You can have 10 helpers if you want.
I mean that by like we could be nearing the end of the stream.
I want you to give me evidence for evolution, scientific, observable evidence. Okay? You went to Chicago schools. I'm sure they showed you evolution's a fact. They brainwashed you like they do in the Muslim schools. That's all they did, Hemant.
Oh, you want to talk about brainwashing, you hypocritical piece of shit.
You went from Jainism to atheism. What a fall.
You know what's great about Jainism? If memory serves, they're the ones who treat life as incredibly precious to where they sweep their feet before they walk. I could be mistaken, but I think that's the group, which that's absurd, but in the best of ways. You can appreciate that. What I can't appreciate is your death cult that says that our entire existence that we know we get is absolutely worthless, and we've got to basically believe in fairy tales to hopefully get the chance to suck off this magic sky daddy constantly for the rest of perpetuity. I can't imagine a worse hell.
Jainism's not much better. Okay, call me, Hemant. I'd like to lead you to Christ. Come visit. We can have the debate right here. I've done a couple of them that way.
Stacy, only let Donnie... excuse me. I'll only let Donnie Dickhall diddle his debates. Exactly. Except he said it'd be on a different channel, a neutral channel, whatever, his channel. So I guess he, but he'd still, have Donnie in there to debate. You're right. It'd just be like, I just have Standing for Truth take over your channel. Yamato, it's fine. Caruso Tomato. Drop some tomato emojis for Caruso Tomato. Yeah. Because Kent couldn't pronounce my fucking name till I pissed him off. Jerk ass. Kent, your religion also promotes that humanoid giants were real, and this book was written by someone who didn't know what the square cubed law is. From Crypto 457. Yep. Bingo. And Tyler West saying Kent doesn't know what quadruped is. Kent doesn't know a damn thing. I mean, we all know this, but you're right.
You're invited. I'll pay all your expenses while you're here, and we will have a wonderful debate. Okay.
Okay, Kent. How about you pay for me to go down to Dinosaur Adventureland? Because I ain't going to DAL. He pays for me to go to Alabama. I'm going to Huntsville, the Space and Rocket Center, spending a good day there, spending 9 hotels, spending a second good day there. Hopefully not getting in trouble for touching the artifacts. I did that. 2018. Went back to Huntsville for the first time since 5th grade. And I found myself, I was talking to my friend who I went down there with, just grabbing on to one of the Gemini program egress trainers. And I'm thinking, son of a bitch, I'm touching a handle that Gus Grissom might have touched. Why am I holding on to this? It was just right there for me to grab. And it felt weird. Like I felt bad. No one said anything, but it just didn't feel right to be touching it. Oh my god, it's AJ. We have been blessed by the presence of Atheist Jr. Holy shit. I'm in the big leagues, baby. I am in the big leagues. Let's see. Atheist Jr., what's up, Mr. Tomato? Hey, you know that Kent Hovind is going to have his open mic. I'm going on for sure. Want to join me? I really should. Ambush Apostate's got a little plan going on. You'll see it in our Discord. I may or may not pop in. Depends on how I'm feeling in a little bit. Because I've got some energy. We'll just have to plan it. We will have to figure this out. I'll just play it by ear. If I'm not there, you guys have fun. If I am there, if I am available, if I'm not going on and going to sleep, we're gonna see what happens. Let's finish up this video. Just see what Kent has to finish up with.
Let's see. I got a few more. I forgot to. Let's see. Hang on. I was supposed to go a few more slides. Just let me get back up where I was. You'll find out when you get old. Here are some of the comments people made on his program, which are just, oh, there it is.
So we got a comments on comments. Hovind, come on everything. Come on every Hovind.
Slide 1.
Ambushed, you can tell me here, or you can put it in Discord. Either one's good. I'm definitely curious.
21. Alt DV. 121. I'm upset that 102,700 public schools get tax funding to teach evolution.
Get tax funding. You know what? We're gonna do the thing from from the no. Oh, okay. Wrong gear. We're gonna do the thing that we did in AJ's stream.
I'm upset that 102,700 public schools get tax funded to teach evolution.
Okay, that's it. It's 6:32. That's it. We're ending on that. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, well, you got a $5 super chat, so this stream has been profitable. Oh man. Oh my God. What to say? What to say? Got 21 watching right now. I know people come and go, but I've watched the number go up and float in the 20 range. That is incredible for like a first impromptu stream. Oh man, y'all have just made my day and my week. I love y'all so much. You have no idea. I'm gonna try to make this more regular, more planned. Um, oh man, I don't know what else to say. I got channel memberships. If you feel like throwing a couple of bucks in a month, that'd kick ass. You know, super thanks exist. You know, I hate to shill, but money's money, man. Cash is king, baby. And digital currency as Google takes a cut. Yeah, y'all are awesome. Love this community. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really had as much fun as it seems like you all had. Oh man. Sorry, I'm just a little overwhelmed realizing what I just did for like 2 hours, just straight live streamed. I could never have done that a couple of months ago. So between the almighty Prozac and feeling comfortable amongst you people, you wonderful, wonderful people, yeah, just thank you. That being said, I guess I am out.